Hi everyone, this is Burke-Spraker and welcome to my book vlog. I know it's been a while since I've taken you on a literary vlog tour of India, but today I decided to rectify that oversight. And as I was looking back through my vlogs, I realized that I have had a tendency to sort of highlight maybe more of the male writers of India rather than the female Indian writers. And there are so many fantastic female writers in India. I read a book over the last couple of days while I was recovering from the walk I did on Saturday night, and I got a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little nasally, I'm so sorry. And I thought, you know what, I really need to review this book and talk about this book because I really enjoyed it a lot. The book is actually called The Girl Who Couldn't Love by Shinie Antony. This is a book, it's her third novel. Shinie Antony is actually the co-founder of the Bangalore Literature Festival and the director of the Bangalore Poetry Festival. She's known primarily as a short story and writer and poet. She's also an editor for best-selling author Chetan Bhagat, and has edited several short story collections as well. So she really falls in that category of the writer slash editor. And since I'm kind of in that category myself, I'm always interested to read other writers slash editors, because we're not exactly unicorns, but we're kind of a rare breed that likes to kind of live in both worlds equally. And so this book is actually set in the port city of Mangalore, and Mangalore is in the South Indian state of Karnataka. It's about 200 miles, about 350 kilometers west of Bangalore, which of course you know is India's IT capital, and the city where Anita's attic is located, and where I lived. So yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm kind of favoring Bangalore writers still a little bit, but hey, a girl's got to do what she's got to do. And I decided to go ahead and read this book. I've actually had it on my Kindle for quite some time. Oh, and thank you to Speaking Tiger, who's the publisher of this book, for putting this book on Kindle in the US. I really appreciate that, because it really makes it much easier for me to get Indian books. Okay, right now, I mean, they're kind of expensive to actually get the hard way. So really, I really do appreciate that. But I had it on my Kindle for a little bit, and I hadn't read it. And Nandita Bose, I follow her on Twitter. She keeps tweeting excerpts from this book into my timeline. And finally, when I was trying to recover from the walk I did on Saturday and the cold that I seemed to have a little bit of, I decided to go ahead and read this. And I've absolutely loved this book. So Nandita, I don't know whether to kiss you or kill you for recommending this book, but I really enjoyed it. So, with the title like The Girl Who Couldn't Love, you would think this is a romance novel, right? I mean, the girl couldn't love, and then, she falls in love, and that's probably like the plot and how it's gonna go. And that's really not how it goes, because the girl who couldn't love is actually not really a girl. She's Rue, her name is Rue, but she is kind of like a middle-aged spinster type. And the boy she falls in love with is actually quite a bit younger than her. And isn't that horribly scandalous? And so, they meet and they have the typical boy-girl stuff that goes on. Boy meets girl, girl isn't impressed, boy tries to convince girl, the boy is awesome. Eventually she's convinced, and voila, they have sex. And so, it's kind of how it works, right? But here's the thing, okay? Then we get halfway through this book and all hell breaks loose. And I just can't even talk about what happens, because this is not a romance novel. This actually, the publisher classifies it as fiction, because clearly they didn't know how to classify it either, because it defies genre, okay? And I absolutely love that it does that, because even though, of course, I love marketing as I do, I recognize that throwing books into genres really is, a marketing thing. If this book were classified in the US, most likely it would wind up in that upmarket women's fiction category that like Girl on the Train kind of belongs to. It's kind of like, what exactly is it? We don't really know. But it's a short, sweet book of only about 170 pages, and it takes you on a hell of a ride. The thing that I really loved about this book was that because Antony is an editor, and I think thinks like an editor, the language in this book is just exquisite, and but it's not like that flowery, purpley, literary fiction stereotype of eloquent. It's the language itself is simple yet eloquent, and really beautiful in places. In particular, the last chapter, the way that she deals with the emotions and the thoughts that Rue is having in the last chapter of the book is really, really quite, just made me rethink like how to even think about writing. So I'm just still a little bit stunned by what happened in that last chapter, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it so quickly after I read it. But the truth is that the thing that I didn't like actually that much about the book is that yes, this book is set in Mangalore, and yes, of course, it has some of the parts where you're like, okay, obvious, references to local places and things like that. But I didn't really feel like the city was much of a character in the book. I didn't really get a sense for Mangalore as much as I would have liked in the book. So if you're looking for this as a way to understand that city and its dynamics, I don't think you're really going to get that here. But at the same time, the interesting part about that is that because of how this book is written, I actually think an international audience is going to have a very easy time falling into this story, because it's Indian in its flavor for sure, but I think because it's not so deeply embedded within the culture as some books are, I feel like it makes it actually more accessible for international readership. So I definitely recommend this book, and to me this is absolutely one of the best fuckingest books of the year. And yes, I realize I just swore on video, but if you read the book, you'll understand why I use that word. So anyway, thank you, and I hope go out and buy the book. Like I said, if you're in the US, it's on Amazon Kindle. If you're in India, obviously you can get hardcover copies. So thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.